Mike and Kenny in the morning. Mike and Kenny in the morning. Mike and Kenny in the morning. Mike and Kenny in the morning.
Mike and Kenny in the morning.
Welcome.
Welcome. Today's episode.
Brought to you by Father's Day.
Yeah,
Top 2 parent holidays.
for sure. Unless you include like the bring your grandparents to school day, then it's like top 3. For sure top 5.
For sure, top 5. Yeah. Why is it? I mean, yeah. I
Brought some props.
Yeah, I brought some props today.
You've been flexing on all the dads in the office about how much more your kids love you than our kids love us.
Yeah, I guess I am. So I got this one from Kinley. Okay, and she gave me 5 cards and she said, this one you open today. This one's personal, it's really sweet. Thanks, Kinley. She's awesome. Love Kinley. They don't make them like Kinley anymore.
No.
Okay, but then there was these other ones, right? Open when you need motivation. It's like literally every day. Open when you're angry.
Yeah, that should have been opened by now.
Also,
Yeah.
every day. When you've had a bad day.
Da-na-na-da.
You could open that every day because like every day is great. I mean, we got our tap shoes on, but also there's challenges. Open when you're stressed.
When you're stressed.
Super sick. So I feel like we can open all of these. I'm gonna probably open them all today when you are angry. Should I open one when I'm angry? What are you angry about, Mike?
I hope it just says like chill out, bro.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually, it looks personal. Let's see. Yeah, it's personal. Yeah. There's like a lot. Oh my gosh. Well, that's sweet.
Let's steal that later.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
there,
There.
Keaton.
Thanks, Kinley. What a sweet. She's awesome. It looks like a chastisement, actually.
Be better.
Stop feeling sorry
better,
for
Dad.
yourself. Loser.
You know who else is angry and stressed right now? Everyone with a FedRAMP Rev 5 authorization.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think so. I know like change is hard. Of course it is. But let's look at what we're doing today. How about we manage a spreadsheet that's got 140 tabs on it. It's maybe 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabytes in size. And you're using that, to manage your plan of action and milestones, right? Which, when you get down to it, those are really, the majority of the work is on excuses, on why you're not going to remediate some sort of vulnerability that's on some system that's not internet facing. And all of the documentation is like, we're not going to fix this because no one can get to this, which is going to be harder and harder to defend today in today's Mythos world, right? Where I know Mythos is currently not available, but when we say Mythos world, it's like, it's really impressive what it's able to do, right? Where you can chain vulnerabilities together and pop things. So
It's one of those things that like people still have this conversation in their heads about, is 20x going to be a thing? That's not a conversation anymore. It is going to be a thing.
it's already real.
It's real.
It's real.
Agencies are accepting it. And officially, Pete is widely and openly saying they're not doing Rev 5 after next year, and they're sunsetting all of the Rev 5 certifications by 2029.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there. And the reason that it's going to move this direction, and we think all compliance frameworks eventually move this direction, is the attackers now have, it's like if you had, these attackers now have machine guns and you're in the Alamo with a single shot buckshot rifle and you're like, I think we can do it with these spreadsheets and these 1,000-page documents. And it's like, no, not in today's world. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Yeah. If you want to water the grass, what do? You
can spit all day.
You could get a bucket and you could get the hose. I would use the sprinklers. Don't be the one-legged man in the ass-kicking contest.
Yeah.
It's hard.
So here's the reality for someone with a Rev 5 certification right now.
When you're angry.
And if you feel angry or stressed, so the VDR standard has to be, it's December 7th is the deadline for all FedRAMP certifications. There's deadline next year for a machine readable SSP and machine readable certification package. So it's one of those things where I know that some people out there are going to be tempted to say, I could figure out a way to duct tape these onto my existing program and not go to 20x.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so the first thing is your system security plan needs to be machine readable. So I don't think that means that you do the same thing that you do in your Word document, to produce something that's, oh yeah, now this is machine readable, that's manually maintained. You will absolutely need to move to modern security package management. And it's actually pretty complicated building the ontology that needs to exist between data, people, processes, technology, and risk around that, and how you are addressing risk and understanding what's exposed and tying those technology components to actual assets. It needs to be thought through. I've spent a lifetime, figuring out how to do this in the most efficient way possible, and I'm still learning every day. So you're going to be, it's stressful for everybody, right?
Yeah.
How to do this, but hey, if it's too stressful, then what can you do with risk? You can say, hey, I'm going to avoid the risk. I'm not going to sell a cloud service. I'm not going to sell an AI product, right, that I vibe coded, right? I'm not going to do, I'm just not going to engage in this kind of responsibility because it's too scary. I don't want to go out there, right? So you can avoid the risk altogether. But in the federal government, I think now FedRAMP has made it very clear. Now CISA has made it very clear. There was the BOD 2604 prioritizing security updates based on risk. They've followed suit. It's just a matter of time before DISA does this. So let's go through this. Why are you not going to be able to do it the old way, right? You need to be able to understand where your assets are and how those tie to the risk that the agency has, right? And you need to be very clear beyond just like a spreadsheet, what is the responsibility of the agency when using this service, okay? Because even today, most of the breaches that happen because someone configured a service incorrectly, right? It's not usually because someone popped a vulnerability that's really hard to do, right? So that's going to happen more and more, of course, with AI.
Yeah.
But you need to be pretty much continuously scanning assets. Okay, so if you're doing it the old way, where you just have this legacy technology that's just sitting there, that's sitting and it's not changing in the way that you make changes to it, is this old archaic process, right? It's going to be really, really hard to do.
Yeah.
So you need to shift everything to the left. I know like people laugh at that and make fun of it. Shift left. You need to shift left. Super cliche, but actually, yeah, you do. You need to start at the very beginning of your architecture. Some people will need to re-architect their processes, right? And yeah, people don't want to do that because it's going to be a lot of work. But Pete has been saying this for a long time. But last week we did the Austin Powers thing. Watch out, right? Here comes the steamroller. It's actually so true, right? It has been a long time.
Yeah.
And if you have thought that, if you thought, oh yeah, it's all gonna blow over, you're super mistaken. And I get it. You're stressed. You're stressed, and you're running out of time. So don't wait anymore, man.
Yeah, and that's the invitation, honestly, right? Is like, we built a pretty cool like soft landing for people who have an ATO where they can get everything that they've got into Paramify and get it all machine readable, but then also immediately start with all the automation stuff so that it can bridge that gap. It's not something where, if you're running a FedRAMP program, you're on your own in the middle of the desert saying, how the hell do I, like, where do I even start to get this switched over? Because it is a lot. And if you've got a program that's working, it's hard to want to toss that all up and start over. But the thing is, you're going to have to. This is not something that you can put off for, December 7th is coming fast.
Yeah. So you can open Paramify when you need motivation. All right, when you need all of it, just open this letter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a call and I'll open it with you. We can talk through it.
We can talk through it.
And Kinley's super wise, man. So yeah, we can talk through it. So you're stressed, right? Yeah, open it, right?
Open Paramify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had a bad day. Open it.
Also open Paramify.
Yeah, open Paramify, man. We got all the solutions. The panacea, if you will.
If you will. The other thing that the other group this impacts is companies who are, we've always called them FedRAMP curious, right? The ones that are entertaining the idea of selling to government. We've seen a ton of companies coming in that have never considered FedRAMP because they didn't want to spend $1 million on it. That's not the case anymore with 20X. It's doable. But we also see a lot of them that they're like, okay, we're going to go try it. And then they get pitched the idea of like, well, maybe you should do Rev 5. Maybe you should use an accelerator. Maybe you should do 20X. Maybe you should have someone else build your environment. It's a complicated place to start.
Yeah, anytime I see that, I'm thinking of, have you seen the SNL Tucker Carlson things? What are we doing? What's going on? That's what I want to say every time I hear someone say, oh yeah, no, we're just doing Rev 5. I'm like, okay, let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah. Well, if they're starting now, I mean, depending on how fast they move, they might not even get it through before they're not doing Rev 5 ATOs anymore, certifications anymore.
I was just at a conference and it's so fun to just listen to Pete talk. I could always listen to him. We were just at the RampCon conference and Pete was talking and there was a lady who had a question who definitely was stressed and feeling like, oh man, we spent, she said from her lips, she said, we spent millions of dollars, right? Trying to get our ATO, right? Which was not really an ATO. It was just, they called it FedRAMP authorized, but now it's a FedRAMP certification. So they've spent, all this time building these manual processes, going through, with auditors and doing all sorts of work, and they've done all this stuff. And now the sponsor, it kind of hesitated and now that's not happening. And so she's feeling like, dang, we did all these things and we actually got to FedRAMP in process. And so Pete said that, it's good of them. Pete said is like, FedRAMP will push that through, right? To get you certified, right? So if you did all of the work, then yeah, you definitely need to be reaching out to the team. I'm sure they're already talking because if you were FedRAMP in process, there was already conversations happening for probably maybe several years in their case, right? But yeah, they just don't have the bandwidth to do it the old way.
Yeah.
Right. It totally had to change. And, they don't have the resources to ingest a 140 tabbed spreadsheet to, look at poems and to go over this excuse and track it and like, oh, have they, updated the image on this stupid little asset over there, they have 90 days, oh, they're past it. So what are the dates? So it's December 7th, 2026. You need to be able to tie your modern security package.
Less than 6 months away.
Yeah. You need to be able to move to the VDR standard. And the VDR standard basically only works when you have deterministic telemetry pumping and kind of tying to your controls and everything like that, right? So if you have something that's internet reachable, you would need to be able to prove that, whether that's internet reachable or not, if something's likely exploitable, that means that there's no controls in this space. It's going to be interesting to me to see where we go from here. I think that as we build more deterministic telemetry into the process, there's going to be other things that emerge. There's like a really, really interesting company. I know that a lot of clouds offer this thing, this confidential compute. This came about, it's not something we really spend a lot of time on, but where confidential compute is where inside of a container, everything's encrypted. So we have data encrypted at rest, and then we have data encrypted in motion. And I was like, oh, I've never really spent time like thinking about that because most people just bring things on-prem for like classified systems. But more and more, there's going to be new controls, I think, that come out where you're probably going to expect risk management even at the data and use level. And I'm just really interested to see what kind of new controls come in, right?
Yeah.
Where we have more of this information, like, holy crap, you're going to be able to see your blind spots. And we will get into a place where we're actually able to kind of defend at machine speed versus just getting popped at machine speed, which is really what's happening.
Well, and that's the goal behind moving to a machine readable package, right? Like, I hear a lot of people, they're like, yeah, we need to move it to OSCAL. It's not even necessarily that moving it to OSCAL is the goal. It's getting it to a point where the machine can read the package, know the vulnerabilities, automatically fix a bunch of them, flag things quicker, move faster on stuff. Like that's the whole goal behind having a 20x machine readable trust center versus a document of any sort.
Yeah. Man, all that stuff makes me nervous though, right? If they apply it to like the old way, if you're like, oh yeah, I can scan this and now I can go fix this, that's probably not how it works. I think what is going to persist into the future is when you're developing product, right? That's when it's time to address the goals before you're deploying, right? And making things in your environment immutable, right? That means you can't change the things that are in the environment. So there will need to be a re-architecture of things, how people are deploying their products. It's not going to be easy. So people say, well, I don't have the budget for that. If you don't have the budget for it, then you're saying like, it's better for me not to be in this business of serving the federal government.
It's going to be more expensive to try and maintain it the old way than it is to do it the new way.
Impossibly expensive.
Yeah.
Basically pushing on a string, right? It's just not going to happen. It is spitting all day long to water your grass, right? You'll just pass out within like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Especially with today's heat.
Yeah. And the wildfires.
And the wildfires. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Favorite place on earth.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
The fire chief that was fighting it gave an interview and was like, yeah, you'll never look the same in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just lie to me. Tell me it's all okay.
I was texting Mike yesterday. I was like saying, hey, dude, we need to talk. Like, what are we doing? Talk. He's like, hey, I didn't hear anything from him for a long time. He's like, I'll call you in a minute. And then he called me back. And then he just texted me. He said like, hey, like your spot. Right?
We've been camping and hunting for 15 years, burned down, gone.
Actually, it's so sad.
Yeah.
So
I get it. People that don't want FedRAMP Rev 5 to go away, I get it. But long term, it's for the better. New plants grow.
Yeah, new plants grow. Eventually,
not in my lifetime.
Yeah. Eventually, your progeny will be able to enjoy that spot.
Yeah.
As long as someone else doesn't light a firework on a really hot day.
Yeah.
Sorry about the campground, man.
Yeah.
That sucks. I actually don't know what to say. What can I do to comfort you?
I feel stressed. Is there a card for that?
There is. Yeah, definitely. That's really just like angry. But yeah, I'm gonna have to read these because I feel all of these all the time.
You should take little nuggets of Kinley wisdom and share them on LinkedIn as you read those cards.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a new series.
Wise beyond her years.
Yeah. The Paramify Wisdom series.
Yeah.
So there's the Paramify Computer Science series that I do with Isaac.
Yeah.
There's Mike and Kenny in the morning,
Yeah.
which is just so chill and sick, you know? There's our podcast.
There's the podcast.
There's the little pro tips that, you know, we deliver every now and again.
Yep.
Yeah. How to listen to an SSP, right? To learn
That's
it.
right.
What else? What else are we doing? We do this for you.
Yeah.
Right. We
For
do
the
it-
people.
Yeah, for the people.
We're all about the people.
Yeah. We do it for the people who are angry. We do it for the people who are stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people having a bad day.
The people play the piano, dude.
Play
Run
the
it.
song.
Play the song.
Play us out.
Play us out. Ciao.
Had a bad